Hi David, this is Alan Cockrell with ABC, former hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies and the Seattle Mariners. We're going to take a look at your video this morning. David, the first thing that I always pay attention to is just to make sure that we're getting good balance in our setup. And for me, balance is just maintaining an angle of my feet or my knees inside of my feet and my head inside of my knees. So as we can see here, you're in a good balance setup. One thing that I would maybe point out at this particular time is we want to try to be square to home plate, and this is not an absolute, because you'll see all kinds of different setups, but as you can see here, your back foot is pointed out just a little bit. Maybe just think about squaring up your back foot more to home plate, and it's just going to preset this knee right here. It's going to preset this knee inside your back foot and create an angle. As we get into the swing process, the first lower half move is made with the back knee, so it's a little easier to make that first move with our lower half if this back foot is more squared up to home plate. So that's just something to keep in mind as we go forward. As we move into the load process, I see a really good first move with your hands. Your hands are moving back over your back foot in this direction, and I like how they're moving independently from your chest and your shoulders, meaning that this front shoulder doesn't turn in to take your hands back. Your hands are moving independently from everything, and they're getting to a good solid position. Okay, the other thing in the load process is we want to gather and store weight to the inside part of this back leg. That's what the load is for, is to store energy into the inside part of my back leg so that I can drive this front knee into the front leg. Okay, so I'm going to continue to go forward here in the load. All right, everything looks good. Everything looks good. Now keep in mind that the load is not done until we get the entire foot on the ground. Most hitters, yourself included, you will land with their toe first, but it's not until this heel firmly plants into the ground, as we can see right here. It's not until that heel firmly plants into the ground am I fully loaded. Okay, at this position, I see some good things. I see your head right here has moved in a positive direction over your belt buckle. Okay, I like that. We want to have good equal bend in both knees. All right, I see pretty good bend in both knees. The other thing that I look for, and this is a big one, is that once this heel plants into the ground, we do not open this stride foot more than 45 degrees. You can see here you're at 59 degrees, and that's a little open. And what that does is it takes my hips. Okay, my hips are here, and it will take my hips that I want to keep square to home plate, and it'll cause this front hip to want to leak open just a little prematurely. All right, so that would be maybe a correction that we can make, is to keep that stride foot more at a 45-degree angle, more in this area, as opposed to a 59. We don't want to get a leaky front hip. It's going to make it difficult to handle pitches, outer half, outer third, and definitely difficult to handle breaking balls. Okay, so we'll get into the first move now. The first move is all the energy that we've stored into here will now be transferred into this front thigh of your stride foot. Okay, I'd like to see this knee a little bit more inverted and driving into that front leg. I think, again, part of the problem, not really a problem, but part of the issue right here is this back foot being turned out a little bit makes it difficult to create an angle with this back knee working forward, okay, or working into the front side. With our lower half, we're going to get direction to the ball, and I'm also going to get drive. So that's where my power comes from. A good solid base and good leg drive is very important when it comes to to hitting the ball as hard as we possibly can. First move with the hands is, and you do a good job of it, your back elbow slides down into the slot. Okay, the slot is right in here next to the rib cage and the back hip. Okay, we'll run this forward. You can see that you make a good first move right there. Okay, you're into the slot. We're now in a position that I call the connected position. The connected position is back shoulder, back elbow, and back hip are all in alignment. Okay, it's going to add up with the drive of our lower half into this front leg right here. All right, now from this particular position, I would like for this elbow to stop, and the only thing moving forward now would be my hands moving forward in front of my body, or just in front of my center of gravity, which is our belly button or our belt buckle. Okay, so we'll run forward. We'll see if we do that. We got just a little bit of pull with the elbow right here. It gets a little bit in front of our center of gravity, and the hands and the bat are dragging just a little bit, just a little bit. So I'm going to erase. We're going to continue to go forward. Go forward. Now the hands get in front. See some good things here. I see palm up, palm down at contact. I see head and eyes looking right down through the baseball. I'm going to run past contact. Okay, I see really good discipline with the head and eyes looking right down the barrel. And I think, David, it's important for you to know that the head and eye discipline down at contact and down past contact is very, very important. I think when the head and eyes start to come up too early, then that's the direction the bat's going to go to. So in a sense, when my head and eyes come up out of the hitting area, basically my swing is over. I cannot direct the bat and extend the bat through the baseball anymore. My barrel of my bat will follow my head and eyes. So you do a good job of disciplining yourself. Keep your head and eyes down past contact. All right, we'll run this forward. Okay, we get some pretty good extension. At extension, I'd like to see the barrel of your bat facing right at the pitcher. And again, that's just that's a little indicator of all the principles leading up to this point have been pretty good. See a good full backside turn right here. Get a good turn here, good turn here. You're getting through the baseball pretty darn good. Okay, and you finish under balance. So that's very solid swing. We move this thing back, and if there's any correction or anything that we can do just a little bit better, I would say the stride foot would be something that we can pay attention to, and I would say just getting this back foot in more of a squared up position it'll preset this knee right here. It'll preset that a little bit more into an inverted position, and it'll also will help kind of remind me that I really want to drive that back knee into the inside part of this front leg. Okay, the next thing that we can work on is just making sure that this elbow right here doesn't get past my power source. All right, at this particular point, the elbow should be more in this area, and the hands should be really more out here where the elbow is. So I'd want to bring my hands out to this area right here, so my hands can clear and get in front of my body to make contact. David, I'm a big fan of the tee, and I think if we could set a tee middle away or outer third and just go through the steps and just stop ourselves and make sure that we're good, I think it'll help you. So we'll set that tee middle away, outer third. I'll get to a heel plant position. I'll make sure that my stride foot's not open more than a 45. Now I'll turn my knee into my front side, and then as I start to turn my knee, the elbow will drop down into the slot, so I've got a good connected position with my elbow, my back, my shoulder, my elbow, and my back hip are all in alignment, such as this. And then from there, I'll just bring my hands forward and release the barrel and feel as though I'm throwing the barrel through the ball. So we'll drive this ball into right center or drive this ball through the right side of the cage. I think this is something that'll help you a good deal. But I want to thank you for coming to our camp, and good luck, buddy.